Here's help. How to develop and use triggered automatic responses. Life is, to a large extent, routine. Even the most unusual, exciting and varied lives still retain the basic elements of routine. In the lives of most of us, the same kind of experiences, events and conditions reoccur with frequent regularity. Repetitive situations. Psychologists and success counselors have found that every person is more effective and successful if he or she develops and uses automatic responses which are triggered by repetitive situations, thus capitalizing on routine. Instead of going into a long and complex psychological and behavioral explanation of the desirability of triggered automatic responses, this proven success method is more easily learned through typical examples. For example, when you are criticized, you think unjustly. Instead of replying with a heated rebuttal, precipitating an argument with increased ill feelings, you should have a proven effective, ready reply. You should use this same reply, automatically, whenever you are criticized. This is what is known as a triggered automatic response because any criticism triggers it, sets it off, spontaneously and automatically. You may compose your own triggered automatic response to all criticism, but the following response has been proven highly effective for many psychological reasons, so it is suggested that you use it until you compose one which you find more effective. Example, when you are criticized, you respond pleasantly and tolerantly. I understand how you feel and I understand why you feel as you do. Important. Do not say more. Stop right there. Do not launch a rebuttal. Do not argue. Do not discuss the criticism further. Give the impression of finality. You have acknowledged the criticism and stated forthrightly that you understand not only how the criticizer feels, but why he or she feels that way. No further response is required of you, and you should offer none. You have cleverly left your criticizer high and dry, conversationally stranded. You have not admitted that your criticizer was right, nor have you argued unproductively that he or she was wrong. You have been tolerant and sympathetic, without agreeing with the criticism. You merely stated that you understood how and why the person criticized you. And you did so with finality, making it obvious that as far as you were concerned, that concluded the matter. Period. If possible, proceed with an entirely different topic of conversation. If this is not possible, simply remain silent. If your criticizer continues the criticism, just repeat your same response and do not discuss the criticism further. Now, stop here and thoughtfully review this chapter to this point. You will see what is meant by a triggered automatic response. 1. You prepare in advance for such situations as are likely to occur. In this example, criticism, so that you have ready a prepared automatic response which already has been proven psychologically effective. 2. Your use of this same response always is triggered, put into instant effect by the same kind of situation. In this example, criticism of you by another. 3. Having made your response calmly and pleasantly, you indicate by your tone and attitude that your response is your final statement on the matter. If the other person persists, simply repeat your response with the attitude that the other person must not have understood that your statement was as far as you were going to proceed in discussing that subject. Now let's consider a somewhat similar example, stopping an argument before it gets heated. It is assumed that you have the good sense not to start an argument yourself. So, when another person starts an argument with you, it should trigger the following good-natured, tolerant automatic response from you. You certainly have as much right to your opinion as I have to mine, and you may very well be right. Stop there. You previously had stated your opinion. The other person disagreed and began to argue. You stopped the argument with a triggered automatic response which made apparently forthright concessions, which actually existed anyway, by stating, 1. The other person certainly had as much right to his or her opinion as you had to yours. Note that you did not concede any substance of the argument itself. You merely conceded the other person's right to his or her opinion. 2. You made it equally clear that you also had the same right to your opinion, which is a fair and acceptable statement. 3. You also conceded that the other person could be right. You did not concede that it was probable, reasonable, or even worth arguing about, only that it was possible. 4. Your statement had the finality of making it clear that having made those fair and forthright concessions, you did not propose to engage in an argument. Period. Now, to demonstrate the wide range of possibilities in effectively using the triggered automatic response, here are several examples of its use in very different circumstances. For example, always before talking over the telephone. 1. The trigger is your picking up the telephone to answer a call or to make one. 2. Your automatic response to this trigger is that you remind yourself, I shall express gratitude, goodwill and good wishes. This is the 3-G proven success method described in a previous chapter, so I shall not repeat it here. The point is that you can use any object or situation to trigger your automatic response which you have learned in advance and which is psychologically effective. Remember that the same object or situation must always trigger the same automatic response. Finally, let us consider how this method can be used to alleviate the constant or frequent heartbreak of excessive grief. This is not to minimize the personal tragedy of the loss of one you love. No one can do that. It is, as stated here, a method to alleviate the constant or frequent heartbreak of excessive grief. There are many psycho-emotional causes for excessive grief, but we shall not discuss them here, except to state that many people use excessive grief itself as an automatic response to a variety of triggers which they frequently see or recall. Those unfortunate people who mentally and emotionally relive personal tragedy as a response to seeing a photograph or some object which reminds them of a departed loved one, can use those same reminder objects as triggers for the following more loving benediction. Excessive grief which results from mentally and emotionally reliving scenes and emotions related to a departed loved one can be lovingly and reverently replaced by the intensely thought benediction, I love you. I love you. I love you. No excessive grief, no heartbreak, no recall of tragic memories. Substitute healing love. I love you. I love you. I love you. Repeated mentally until love replaces heartbreak, as it always will. Then focus your thoughts on something else. Whenever a photograph or other object triggers memories of a departed loved one, let your response be not grief, but love. And confine your triggered response to be just 3 all-encompassing words, I love you. I love you. I love you. Do not use other word thought which will renew your grief, such as, I miss you. I need you. I cannot stand being without you. Such heart-breaking word thoughts are needlessly self-punishing. Let the word thought, I love you. I love replace all painful memories and you. I love you. Grief recall. Let love take over completely. Love is the only adequate and healing response.